living up to the promise that nothing will fundamentally change, the U.S. under Biden has just begun launching airstrikes against Syria. So now government officials told reporters that the facilities that were targeted and destroyed belonged to Iranian-backed militia groups, apparently as retaliation for rocket attacks on bases in Iraq that house U.S. troops. So they're like, oh, well, you know, the Iranian-backed militias in Syria bombed U.S. bases in Iraq, so that's why we bombed Syria. And so don't worry, guys, we're doing the right thing. We're just it's a retaliatory strike. We're allowed to do that. Oh, great. Fantastic. By the way, we're still in Iraq. We're still in Iraq. Still. Why? I don't know. I don't know why we're in Iraq. And now, under Biden, we are back to normal. We are bombing, doing airstrikes against Middle Eastern countries. But with one, and understand it, we were still doing stuff like this under Trump. We were still bombing other countries under Trump. The Trump administration had taken Obama's drone program and accelerated it like tenfold. So you had thousands of civilians that were being killed under Donald Trump. But understand that happened with outrage from liberal media. Okay. But this liberal media, establishment media, is like, oh no, don't worry about it. Back to normal. Back to competent governments. See, yeah, as long as we have people not flipping out on Twitter, Donald Trump not flipping out on Twitter, I should say, then it's okay because it's competent. It's competent. So trust in Biden, the adult in the room. When he bombs someone, it's okay. When Trump bombs someone, bad. Trump bombed bad. Biden bombed good. Biden bombed back better. Now, the New York Times on Thursday evening reported on remarks that the Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby made to journalists traveling with the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, saying that the American airstrikes on Thursday specifically destroyed multiple facilities located at a border control point used by a number of Iranian-backed militia troops, including Kataib Hezbollah and Kataib Saeed al-Shuhada. This proportionally military response was conducted together with diplomatic measures, including consultation with coalition partners. The operation sends an unambiguous message. President Biden will act to protect American coalition personnel who are in Iraq right now, and they shouldn't be. Oh, okay. I mean, so basically, hey, look, they're asking for it, right? The Iranians, they're asking for it because we are in Iraq right now. And so they don't like that we're in Iraq. So, okay. All right. Great. Fun, fantastic. Now look, here's the irony about this. This militias, well, I don't like the militias. They're anti-ISIS. You remember ISIS, right? The worst of the worst. Okay. These militias fought against ISIS. And now we're bombing the same militias that fight ISIS. Again, I'm not saying that they're good. There are no good guys here. No good people here. Okay. I'm just saying that maybe our being there in a country we're not exactly welcome in, and we are only there essentially for oil anyway, as a result of George W. Bush's wars. Maybe we shouldn't be there. Just maybe we shouldn't be there. But you understand, we can't have Iran get a foothold and influence the area. Okay, but then we're going to do it? What gives us the right to influence the area? Again, we don't belong there. We don't live there. But we're trying to control the area. It's frustrating. Okay. And so, but we're back to apparently American imperialism, which, by the way, under Donald Trump, still absolutely happened. So I'm not trying to equivocate here. I'm just saying that imperialism, it doesn't matter what president, or what administration we're under, imperialism continues. And that's frustrating. But the more frustrating part, again, because, we all know imperialism bad, we're continuing to do the imperialism under every single Republican and Democratic administration. Nothing's really changed all that much on that front. But the thing that I'm frustrated about is the outrage when Trump did the bombings and continued imperialism. But now that there's silence from the people who criticize Trump for the same thing. I mean, let me give you an example here. Amy Siskin on Twitter, big Biden backer. Okay. Didn't like Bernie Sanders at all or progressives. Here's what she said. So different having a military action under Biden. No middle school level threats on Twitter. Trust Biden and his team's competence. So that's essentially encapsulating what I've been saying for a long time. Where as soon as Biden gets into office, the libs are going to get back to brunch. I mean, am I wrong? This is brunch energy. Okay. They're like, yeah, no. This time we have a competent imperialist who doesn't get on Twitter. And so therefore the bombings, totally fine. Sure. Well, I'm sure that will be a great comfort to the people, to the families of those that we have bombed. All right. And again, I know it's militia groups. I know it's in response to rocket attacks. But again, the whole point is maybe we shouldn't be in these places where we don't belong. Again, Iraq is a sovereign country. Syria is a sovereign country. And by the way, Biden has not even gotten authorization. You want to talk about how it was bad under Donald Trump, right? Biden didn't even have authorization to launch this attack unilaterally. And so that's the other problem. OK, according to a legal expert here, this is a Notre Dame law school professor who said this on Twitter, quote, President Biden violates international law in revenge airstrike in Syria. To recover better requires respect for the rule of law, starting with the prohibition on the use of force. So, look, I mean, that's what we have. And then we'll go to Ro Khanna as well. We cannot stand up for congressional authorization before military strikes only when there is a Republican president. The administration should have sought congressional authorization. We need to work to extricate from the Middle East, not escalate. And so, look, the administration is saying, well, we didn't escalate anything. We were just doing a proportional retaliatory response. And so that means it's totally fine. We're not escalating anything. Well, I don't know about that. All right. What we should be doing is try to sue for peace. Okay. We should be trying for a better peace. And that doesn't necessarily involve, bombing people. All right. And so now Win Without War said in a series of tweets on Thursday this, and I actually agree with this. They said, we hope all parties will avoid further military force. Yes. We cannot escape the realities of how we got here. Decades of U.S. war in the Middle East and a continued belief that bombs will somehow bring peace. History has shown how utterly failed that mentality is. With the cost of countless lives and massive destruction, it must end. And we also know that the current crisis is a direct result of Trump's failed maximum pressure campaign. That is also incredibly true. The only path forward is for President Biden to follow through with this commitment to turn from war towards diplomacy, starting with rejoining to the JCPOA, which is commonly, of course, known as the Iran deal. That was the successful deal. That was one of the only really great foreign policy, a foreign policy, I should say, victories for Obama. I mean, that was one of the best things that he has done when it comes to foreign policy, and Trump ripped it up on day one. And so, yes, Trump put us in this position. Definitely. And that sucks. That really does suck, because it was an incredibly good deal. And now, unfortunately, here we're back in this situation, right? And so getting back into that deal, that's not going to be that simple, all right? Iran is going to have to want to do it. And with the way that we have been acting as a country belligerent towards the country of Iran, which, by the way, I want everybody to also understand that I do not like the government of Iran. They are fundamentalists, they are authoritarian, they are dictatorial, but at the same time, they're a theocracy. And they do some pretty terrible things. But like at the same time, that doesn't justify doing what we're doing as well. We've got to learn to get along in some capacity so that we don't end up killing each other, essentially. It's not good. Doing that is not good. And so, unfortunately, hardliners in their government, just like we have the hardliners that love war, they also have the hardliners that love war and love conflict. And we have a military-industrial complex, which feeds off that. Okay. Well, look, that's getting boosted by all sides. And so that's going to make peace much, much more difficult. Much more difficult. And so that does not excuse Biden on dropping bombs on Syria. Now, the other thing here is just overall the disappointment that people are feeling in Biden, not just with the bombing, obviously, but you also have the stimulus checks, the lack thereof. You have the lack of student loan cancellation. That is something he can absolutely do. He has the authority to do that. He didn't have the authority to drop bombs, but he has the authority to cancel student loan debt. All of it, or 50,000 of it, right? But he chooses to not do that. We also have kids in cages. Biden reopened a facility that was caught abusing migrant children under Trump, that was run by very sketchy management. All right. And so, yeah, ICE still exists. We have continued deportations. We probably won't get the minimum wage passed. But hey, we still have bombs we can drop on Syria. So best we can do, sorry, is drop bombs on Syria. But I'm sure they were made by women somewhere. And so it's okay. We need more female fighter pilots. It's liberalism 101. America's back, baby. Bomb back better. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.